Are you tired of your oily skin ruining a good makeup look? This video is sharing all of my tips that I use to prevent makeup from ruining a bomb slay. Hey y'all, welcome back to Rock Natural. This is the channel of all things beauty on a budget, and in this video I'm sharing with you my top tips for helping your makeup look stay in place, because you know what, us oily girls, and if you're not oily, this is also good for normal combination skin as well. You won't believe all the tips that I'll be giving you in this video. These are some things that I use on myself as well as on my clients, and I'm sharing all the goods. Well, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Hit the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram, and let's go. I'm bringing y'all close today so y'all can see all this goodness that we're going to be talking about. So I have already prepped my skin. So the products that I used are, well, I would like wash my face, just got out the shower, so I washed my face in the shower, and then I used this toner, which I talk about in one of my most recent videos, which was a nighttime routine. I love that stuff is new. As you can tell, I'm on the elf train again. I just like to stick to what I know and what works best for my skin. I do like to try other things, but these are just what's worked. And then I prepped my skin, and that was the lotion I used, and it says get glowy healthy looking skin with this lightweight fresh scented moisturizer. Let me tell you, those two together, look at my skin right now, glowing, right? And so this might be scary for you if you have oily skin. You're like, ooh, I don't know, but I much rather a fresh healthy looking face than a dry dull one. So now that we got the prep out of the way, I want to show you a few of my favorite products I like to use before actually applying makeup. Like I said, no matter the skin type, I like to moisturize, I like to tone, I like to prep someone's skin, including my own. So it's so important that you do those two steps. And yeah, so the first makeup item that I like to use to help prep my skin is something for my pores. So this Dermablend product is awesome. I also like the e.l.f. Prep Stick, which I've also talked about multiple times. As you can see, I stick to what I know. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put this right on the areas that I know are going to get shiny, which are most likely my T-zone area. And the way this feels on the skin is so interesting. This is kind of just like drying me out, and I'm only putting it in the areas where I know I'm going to get oily, and I just want to prevent some of the shine. So I have multiple videos, and I debated back and forth about whether or not I wanted this to be a full makeup tutorial, and I am going to talk about the products, the ones that matter at least, and then do all the unnecessary things that don't necessarily have to do with prepping or protecting oily skin off camera. So now that we've got that part out of the way, you can use whichever primer you like for, you know, blocking the pores. I like to use matte foundations or foundations that I just find work for me, and then prevent them from getting like super oily after the fact. The one foundation that I found that does not really prevent the oil no matter what I do, just because of the formula, is the Juvia's Place. I love that. I love the formula itself. It's just not, I wouldn't recommend it for oily skin. So ones that I use, let me show you. So right now, those are the three products. We got the Color Stay by Revlon, we got the Huda Beauty, and we got the MAC Studio Fluid, which I'm pretty much out of, so I need to stock up on that. But I also, if I'm going for more of a dewy look, I like to use my Graftobian palette, which I think is what I'm going to use today, because I am going for more of a dewier look. Okay, so I went ahead and used the Huda Beauty foundation instead. I thought I was gonna be using the Graftoian palette, but I started using it and I was just like, never mind. I find that concealers and contours matter less when you're trying to avoid oily skin, only because I feel like they don't really have that much of an effect on the overall, but powders do. So I went ahead and did my foundation, contour, under eye. Now I'm going to show you, actually have a whole video, and I'm going to be sure to leave that right here, showing you all the powders that I think help with oily skin. And let me tell you, those are still my holy grails, and I do not use any other ones. So although concealer and contour don't necessarily matter when the type doesn't really matter, well, to me at least, powders do. And I like to powder every area of my face where I've applied a cream product, which is usually all of my face. So we have the Derma Blend, which we'll be using today, and then also the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. I like to use a Sephora Micro Smooth Powder underneath my eyes, so I just like to brush this underneath my eyes, and you can already tell that it just kind of mattifying the area. And I do that for all the areas where I want it to be highlighted. And then I would also just take some of the Derma Blend powder and apply that in other areas, but today I'm going for a glowy look, but I wanted to make sure that I included that for you. Next, you need to powder your contour areas. I'm gonna wear more blush than contour, so to kind of set my contour in place, I'm gonna use a blush product. But for contours, I feel like there's a wide variety, and I don't particularly have one that I find works better than the other. Some of my favorite ones that I'm using right now are the Anastasia contour palettes, bronzers. Those are the ones that I've been using consistently, and those are the only ones I have in my kit at the moment. So let me grab my blush. This is a MAC blush, and it's powdered. And I'm gonna go a little crazy with the blush today, because I'm going for like a very dewy, blushy look, fun look. So excuse me while I go crazy on the blush. It's kind of hard for me to see on camera how much blush I'm actually putting on, so let me grab this mini camera or mini mirror. What y'all think? I think I can keep going just a little bit more. So when you are working with oily skin, or if you have oily skin, it really just depends on the type of look you're going for. If you want to go for a super matte look, then you want to make sure you put powder all over everything all the time. But if you have oily skin and you're going for a dewier look, be sure to focus the product in this T-zone area. The prep for this is so important, because you want to make sure that you're really prepping the skin to be able to shield any oils that could be coming through to meet your makeup. So now that I've done this, I would say like I've done as far as like protecting the oil. The only thing that we haven't done is highlighter. So I'm going to be using this MAC highlighter, and as far as the technique for oily skin, as you can see, my skin is still really dewy, which is what I wanted. But I'm going to focus a lot of the highlight in this area and try to stay away from this under eye area, which I know already gets oily, and then my nose. So I need to powder my nose a little bit more, because we can't have the nose getting oily. And then I can add highlighter to it if I want. To me, there's a difference between oily skin and dewy, glowy skin, but that's just me. Ooh, I knew this highlighter was good, but I, for some reason, do not remember it being like this. So somebody with oily skin who doesn't want to look super dewy or glowy is going to avoid the highlight being put right on their cheeks, because if you're looking at me, this looks like I have oily skin, but it's a highlight. So you want to make sure that you're putting your highlighter further back and that way people can only see the glow if you're looking to the side. So now I'm gonna finish the rest of my look off camera and I'll be back. Here I am with the finished look. I went ahead and did just like a color underneath on my bottom lid, threw on some lip gloss, eyelashes, did my eyebrows, and the last thing that we did not touch on was setting spray. I find that setting spray can be helpful. I like it if I'm doing someone's makeup and they may look like kind of powdery or something and I kind of want to bring the powder down, or I use it, it's meant to set makeup in place. So setting sprays are also good when wanting to mattify your skin and help with oily skin. The ones that I'm using right now, let me grab you. So I use setting sprays more so on my clients than I do myself. Ooh, is that definition or what? I use it more so on clients than I do myself, but the ones that I'm using right now are, so the first one is the Scandinavian. This is great for brides and people who are wanting long lasting makeup. I use that one a lot, almost on everyone, even if they aren't a bride. And then the Ulta Dewy makeup setting spray is not necessarily for oily skin, but it's a great product to kind of give that skin the dewy finish that you may be going for. And then I showed you the Rebound by Urban Decay setting spray because this is a great prepping product. So it's firming, soothing, and radiance boosting, and to me that means that it's firming, so it's kind of tightening your pores to prevent the oil from coming out, but then also still giving the skin the radiance that it needs. So before I end this video, I just want to do a recap on everything we learned to make sure you have it all down. So tip number one, you want to make sure that you're prepping your face with good products, so toner and moisturizer always. Second is you want to use some type of pore filler, some type of priming product for your T-zone area, and in this video I use the Dermablend Pore Saver. 3, you want to find either a very good matte product or a product that doesn't cause a lot of oily, like the formula is not oily, and that's step 3. Tip 3. Tip 4, find powder products that work really well for your skin or ones that you like. 5, set all of your cream products in place, either with powder with no color, or you can use the micro smooth powder from Sephora. MAC has a really good one, and make sure you're setting your contour as well with some type of contour powder. And then 7, I believe, is if you're wearing highlights, stay away from the apples of your cheeks and make sure you're bringing it back. And then 8, setting spray. Use setting spray if you want an additional shield to block the oil. You don't want to miss these other 2 videos that are also great for oily skin, because I'm coming with all the oily skin this year. I have oily skin, and so I want to make sure that I'm sharing my tips with everyone. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will see you in my next upload. Toodles!